In my last video, I actually said I was going on holiday, and little did I know that that wasn't going to happen, because a customer of mine emailed me and wanted to have one more of this PC, to be specific, a HP Z420 workstation. He had bought one from me before, and given that the offer was a really nice offer, because he actually bought this particular PC for 179 euros including shipping. This was a very good offer because the PC came with 16 gigabytes of RAM, 256 gigabytes of SSD, as well as a 500 gigabytes of a hard drive. So he really wanted to have this PC again. For me, that was going to be possible. Even though I was already on holiday, I was really chilling. I put a notice on my shop informing potential buyers I was on holiday until the new year. But then, given that this is a customer that already bought from me, I wanted to make him satisfied, so I decided to come today again to the warehouse to quickly fix this and still ship it off today. It's just about 13 o'clock. I hope I can still finish this and do a few more things before I'll be off to the post office. Sometimes you have to make decisions like this. Sometimes you have to go out of your way to satisfy the buyers. For me, it's not a problem. I've done similar things like this in the past, and I mean, for you out there, this might be something that you have to be aware of. A typical 9 to 5 job, it's very rare that one is on holiday and have to be called back from the holiday by your boss to say, please, you have to come to work because there's something very urgent. It happens, but it's really on rare occasions, because most people, when they're on holiday, typically switch off their phone and you really cannot reach them. So even when you are self-employed, it's going to happen. You say to yourself, I'm going to take a break, but then comes some very interesting deals, some very nice transactions that you really kind of find it very hard to say no to it. This, I would say, is one of those transactions, because I got these pieces pretty cheap, and they were like 11 or so, and I just have like 2 left, and hopefully I'm going to be selling it also in the new year. They have really sold very fast. It wasn't a problem selling them, because these are very powerful workstations. You can call them a tank if you like. They are not the typical home PCs. These are really solid built to last and can withstand quite a lot of demanding task. So the buyer actually wanted the same configuration: a 256 gigabyte SSD, a 500 gigabyte HDD, and the graphic card in this case is exactly the same that was in the other PC I sent to him, an NVIDIA Quadro K420 2 gigabytes. Also wanted 16 gigabytes RAM. Already installed on the PC are 2 modules of 4 gigabytes DDR3 RAMs each. So I'm going to be including this to make 16. So in that way, we should be definitely able to quickly set this up. It's just right about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So hopefully I still can quickly set this up as to enable me drive to the post office. I'm just going to grab the hard drive and quickly slot that in. This takes little or no effort, because this plastic hard drive holder is really practical. So I really don't need to screw anything. I just need to only slot it in, and this is ready to go. So this comes here. In this particular case, I'm going to be holding the SSD down with a screw onto the frame, just like this. I've done it so many times before and it works as well. But if you've got the typical 2.5-inch SSD holder, I would really recommend that you use that. But if you've not got it, the screw is also a very good way out. So I'm going to put that here and just put a screw right here. If you look carefully, there's a hole here, and onto this hole you can easily put a screw that will hold the SSD right well in place. So this should be just fine. I only need one of these to hold it right in place. So one trick I normally use is to already put the SATA cable right on the SSD, so I have kind of the possibility to hold it around just exactly the way I want it. So you might want to do that as well. Yeah, that happens a lot, because actually you have so little space here to play around. Now that the SSD is in place, I've actually got here 2 SATA cables to enable me connect the SSD and the HDD right to the motherboard. It's a little bit tight here, but if you're careful, you can actually get your hand around it. So that goes there. And the other one comes here. So the next thing I need to do now is to actually take the graphic card and slot it on. But it just occurred to me now that I have here a low profile graphic card, and this is a taller PC, and I'll actually be needing the full profile back blend. But this shouldn't be a problem. I think I've got another graphic card with the exact same port, so I can easily take it out and slot it here. Right here, it's an NVIDIA graphic card as well, which I pulled from a Fujitsu PC. So hopefully this should be able to do the trick. I'm possibly going to let's see, I'm possibly going to change the offer on eBay because I have this PC still listed, and I think I've only got this one left in the warehouse. It's possible to buy this off of eBay, but I really don't want to do all that because I've got an NVIDIA K410 that is full profile. So I will just change the offer to an NVIDIA K410 graphic card instead of a K420 graphic card. So that will need to go off first of all. And that will also need to come out. So that was it. All I have to do now is to screw the full profile bracket back in place, and we are ready to go. So I guess the buyer is just lucky, because if I didn't have this, then unfortunately I would have had to downgrade him to an NVIDIA Quadro K410 graphic card, which is basically, I don't see a lot of differences between the two cards. If you have this situation, buying them off eBay shouldn't be a problem because they are pretty much standard. And yeah, all right, so we got that well in place. So this was how it was supposed to look originally. Don't know how I didn't notice that right from the beginning, but in any case, we have it sorted out and we move on. This particular Z420 has got so many PCIe slots, but this is of interest to us because that is the PCIe 16 slot. That's exactly what we need to install this graphic card. Also, this doesn't require any screw. There is a lock system behind the PC. When you are sure the graphic card is properly sitting, so then you can push the slot one, and that's the other slot. And when you push this properly, the graphic card should be well seated. You shouldn't worry that it would fall off or get damaged. Alright, so we've got the graphic card installed. The hard drive has also been installed. The SSD has been installed. Like I said earlier, the buyer actually wanted 16 gigabytes, so I've got 8 gigabytes here of extra RAM, so I'm going to be pushing that in as well. I still got an extra hard drive holder here. This I believe I can easily sell on eBay. I don't know how much this costs, but perhaps 6 or 7 euros should be fine for something like this. If it will sell so fast, I wouldn't know, but I'll be taking a look at this much later. And this I can easily replace at the end of the day. That I will be doing at a later time. I just need to put this here and screw it back on. So I guess that will be it for this particular system. I'll be packing it off briefly and shipping it off today, like I said. If you are interested to see how I pack this PC, I'll be leaving a link here where you can easily see the video. If you've got questions or comments, make sure to leave it in the comment section below. I'll be glad to read it. And until I see you again, peace.